Hello, everyone, and it's good to see everyone here watching this video. Okay, just a quick heads up: if you know you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, you probably want to do that right now. Just hit on the subscribe button, and guess what? You're subscribed. Literally, that's how simple it is. Today is going to be a full course, and in 2025. I know it's quite different. There are videos on what I want to talk about and in various years, but I wanted to give you the heads up in how to use the Google Classroom in 2025 because there have been a lot of major changes. So that would help you, especially for now. This is going to be in two different videos. The first one is going to be teacher's guide, and the other one is going to be student guide. Okay, so yeah, said it, so expect it, right? So this is a teacher's guide. So if you're a teacher and you're wondering how do I navigate to my Google Classroom, you're in the right place, you're in the right space. So let's get to it. So the first thing you have to do is to open your browser. It's always recommended to always use Google Chrome because essentially it is a Google product, right? It's classroom.google.com. You get the idea. So it works better when you're using Google Chrome. However, you can use other web browsers like your Microsoft Edge, your Safari if you're using a MacBook. It would still do wonders, but you get the very best when you're using Google Chrome. So yes, and this is not an advert. Trust me. I wish it was, but it's not. But Google Chrome is awesome with their product. Okay. So the first thing you have to do right here on your URL bar, you're going to type classroom, yes, .google.com. Yeah, classroom.google.com. And then you hit on enter. Now, the next thing it's going to load is your dashboard. Okay. For a teacher who's just starting up, right, you probably, if you're working in the school, you probably have your Google Classroom set up for you already, and you probably see the list of the classes that you're teaching. Okay, so now what I want to do is, for example, you don't have a dashboard, you don't have any classes, and you want to start at fresh. How do you go about it? So the first thing you do is right here, you're going to see a plus sign that talks about create or join a class. So I'm going to click on it, and you have the option of joining a class. Now you join a class if you're a student or if you're attending a seminar or whatever. But if you're going to be an educator, if you're going to be a tutor, you have to create the class. Okay, so I'm going to click on create the class. Another way of joining is the fact that okay, it could be a code I sent you, but literally for teachers, you've been added with your emails. Okay, students are sent a code. So I'm going to click on create class, and you're going to have this. So you're going to type the name of the class. I'll probably do I'm going to do EA6 ICT. Okay, and the section here is a section for the school, for the term, right, for the session. So what section is it? So for me it's going to be a section of 2025/2026 academic section, right? And the subject, right, you want to type the subject in full. So I'm going to have this information and communication technology. Okay, so this is important. Now for room, right, depending if the subject has different rooms, right, you might have to say okay, this ICT room 1, this ICT room 2, this ICT room 3. Probably you're having different teachers who are taking that particular year 6. Okay, it happens, right? Especially in developed countries, you see it a lot. So you can have like 3 teachers taking a particular class. So then that becomes room 1, room 2, room 3. Okay, so you probably want to do that if you are in that section. But if you're just the only one, the sole teacher of the subject, you probably don't need a room for it. So I'm going to click on create, and it's going to create, right? So there you have it. You've created your first Google Classroom. You should be proud. Literally, you should be proud. Now, there are certain things I want to talk about right here once you create your Google Classroom. So here, this is how it's going to look like. You can see that it is blank, right? It is blank. And here you have um, the Meet, Now, this is where you can generate a link where students will always at every time be joining your classes. It's time for online class. They will just click right here and they will join right here. I'm going to show you how all this processes works. Now, this is the class code. Now, the class code is very, very important, and I will explain this because the class code is what you can send to your students, and when they're joining the class, right, all they have to do is to input on the code and they will join into your class. The three dot here gives you the option of where you can copy the invite link. It comes like a link, and they can click on the link and they will join in. You can copy the class code. You can even reset the class code, or you can even turn it off. Okay, so when you reset the class code, it generates on a probably a student is no longer in school and it's no longer in your class anymore, and you still have the active class code that they can join in and probably make a mess of your class, right? You probably want to reset it, get a new code that you can send to other students to join in, or it's probably not in the school anymore. So the reset class code is a very important feature on your Google Classroom. Now, as teachers, you probably see the assignment that is due for your students, so you can always remind them. And if you click on view all, it shows you the list of things that are due for your students to actually take note of. Okay, so this is very important, right? And if you have multiple classes, you can actually see it all here that you can actually join in. Okay, so this is very important, and you can just click on all classes and that gives you an idea of all the assignments that is due. Okay, so you see all the classes and all the work. In fact, you probably see the work in progress and the ones that are probably no due dates. Okay, this is the ones that are still in progress, probably going to are due already and still in progress. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, so we'll switch to year 6 ICT because that is a new class, and all I have to do is right here you have to view, and these are the ones that are reviewed, right? So that simply means that if you click on all classes, you probably see all the ones that are reviewed, but we don't have any no reviewed work yet. Okay, so these are the ones to view, and then we have the review. So I'm going to click on year 6 ICT, and I'm going to click on the classroom. Now, if I click on the classroom, notice the URL bar is going to have a /H. The H means the home. So this is literally your home. Okay. So I'm going to click on the year 6 ICT and I'm back right here. Okay. So what are you going to do here? Okay. So this is where you have your logo. Okay. You probably want to put something catchy for your class, for your classroom, because again, the virtual classroom and the physical classroom is literally the same thing. So the same way you set up your physical class is the same way you want to set up your virtual classroom. So right here you have this, and if I come here to here, you can view the class information. It shows you the class code and of course the subject. Okay, here you can customize it, right? If you click on customize, you can be able to upload a customized photo of how you section your class. Okay, a customized section photo of how you've the designs you've made on your classroom. For example, you want to probably do a design for your 6 ICT, put the name of the teacher, put the logo and everything, and that makes it cool for you. Again, you can come here to select photos, and this is the ones that have been these are templates, okay, already there for you for arts, for math and science, okay, for others if you're not in any of these categories, and you can actually look for anything that is cool. I'm probably going to find something that has to do with computer, but I'm not seeing anything computer here, so I'll probably just have to go with this. Literally, I have to go with this. Okay, I'll probably go with this. Right, so this would actually change the class theme. So if you click on this, right, and you click now, take note. It's going. There's what we call theme color. So the theme color simply means that how will your classroom color be? Right? Is it going to be the default black, or is it going to be a color you're going to assign to? So if I click on save, notice something that this would obviously change a lot of things on your classroom. Okay, so now you can come here to generate the link. Okay, you can come here to generate the link on your classroom, and then you'll probably see this. Okay, so again, it offers added safety features, and again, you can set to check this to be visible to students or not. Probably you want it visible when it's time, and you probably don't want it visible. You can always toggle this off, and you toggle this on, and then you click on save. So now this is going to be visible to students. So when they join in at the classroom and it's time for the class, they can just come directly right here to by clicking on join, and it will take them to the class. Okay. Now I have what we call this class settings, right? And it's also more or less like the stream settings, really, because here I want to talk about this. You can always add a class description about your class. What is the class all about? Okay, for year 6 ICT, we're talking about basic computer features, computers, practicals on computers, handling your computers. You want to talk about all those things in your class description. And it's also a good time to always put down the rules in your virtual classroom, because again, students need to be aware of the rules and regulation about your class. The same way it happens in the physical class is the same way it should happen in your virtual class, because rules are very important. So please, it's always advisable in your class description, you probably want to put down the rules of your class so that they understand how your class works. Okay, don't leave it to chance. Okay, don't leave it to chance. Okay, so the next one is the stream and classwork. The stream and classwork. So we have the stream, and this is something that I need to talk about. It's so important. Student can post and comment. I would not advise it, because if you leave it to student can post and comment, it simply means that any student can post anything on your Google Classroom. And it's the same way that you don't want any student to write anything on your board, right? It's the same way you don't want any student to just make a post of something. So it's always advisable to always switch this to student can only comment. Student can only comment. I don't advise only teachers can post and comment, right? So you probably want to give the students an opportunity to be able to add their views in the comment section. So with that process, it's easy to contain, to say, okay, these are how your streams are going to be. So this is very important. Another thing I want to talk about is classwork on the stream. Most teachers prefer show condensed notification. That simply means that it only shows um, the um, the title of it for the student. It shows the title of it, and they can click on it before it gets there. Or you probably want to do show attachment and details. Show attachment and details. So it's going to show the attachment and the details of it, so students can just see it on a glance. So whichever one you want to do, it is fine. Explore it, and we'll probably explore it here if we have time as well. Okay, so this is very important. Now, show deleted items. Only teachers can view deleted items. So that simply means that for any reason, you probably deleted something, and by error or by chance you probably deleted it. With show deleted item, you can actually see what you've deleted, and again, it goes to your drive called the classroom. So there's a drive folder on your drive.google.com called the classroom. We'll probably have to do a separate video on that to show you how it works. Okay, so let me know in the comment section if I should do a video on that, because I feel not every teacher has a hang of it, but again, it's up to you. Okay, it is up to you. All right, so the next one is the guidance access. Okay, so how do you want the guidance? And it's always important to bring in the parents into your classroom. So important to bring in the parents into your classroom, because again, it helps for collaboration, to know the progress of their child. Okay, to know the progress of their child, so that they can be able to see how well they're faring in that subject, the assignments they're done, their scores and everything, and together the teacher and the parents can work together collaboratively to ensure that the child is doing better. So I always advise that this should be checked, toggled on, so that the guidance, once you've added them to your classroom, they can actually see it. Okay, so again, we've covered this fact that this can be easily visible to students, and you can always toggle this off. Another thing I want to talk about is the new feature in 2025 is the draft grade for missing assignment. So for example, students who have missed the assignment, what score are you giving them? So at default, instead of letting it be a dash, I probably leave it at 0. Okay, you miss the assignment, and if you miss the assignment, you're having a 0. Okay, so you probably want to just put that as, a draft grade for students who are missing the assignment. Okay, so this is very important, right? The next one is overall grade calculation. So again, You can actually put the overall grade calculation that shows you the total grade percentage of what the students have done, either by weighted by categories or the total point. I always advise weighted by category, so it probably gives you the total for each of the assignments you're giving the children. Okay. Another thing I want to talk about is show overall grades to students. Okay. You probably want them to see it, right? To see how well they are faring in that subject. So showing the overall grades to students helps them to be able to see that. Okay. The grade categories is very important. Add grade categories. You can probably add a grade category to say, okay, for grade A, this is the percentage, right? So grade A, this is going to be a 90%. And you come and say grade B, this is going to be um 85%. Okay, 80%. Okay, so yes, and for a grade C, this is going to be a 70%. Okay, so depending on how you want this grades to be, okay, you can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on for it, and once you're done with it, you can always click on the save. Okay, so grade categories must add up to 100%. So again, adding up to 100% now is quite different, because again, you want all your grades to be 100. So I'll probably just do 50. Okay, maybe this will be 30, and this will probably be 20. Okay, so this adds up to 100%. So okay, for example, 50, 30, 20. Okay, and then you can actually save it across. Okay, but I probably don't need that really, so I'll just close it. Okay, so this is very important. And if you're done with everything here, right, I think we've made some changes here. um Invite codes and everything, we can just it's already unsaved, so no, cancel. I don't have my save here, so probably just do this. Come here to visible to students. Okay, I'll probably just do this. It's not been saved, it's not showing the button here, so I'll probably just discard it. And again, you can always come to the process to always do this, and then you will have it there as well. Okay, I think that was the only thing we did here. Overall grades to students. Okay, weighted by categories, overall grades to students, and that is that. So I'll probably just do no. I'll save this for now, and probably come here again. Okay, so I have this, show this. Okay, weighted by categories. It's not allowing me for weighted categories, so I'll probably just do this. Total points. Okay, so total points is for this. Okay, so I hope that is quite helpful. Then the next thing I want to talk about is, of course, this will take you directly to the class drive folder, and I'll talk about it here. Another thing is the Google Calendar. So this would create a Google Calendar for you. So if I click on my Google Calendar, you probably see that it's going to create a calendar. This calendar already exists right here. So if you scroll down, you probably see year 6 ICT. So here for students, it would show them, okay, it will show them all the assignment right here on their Google Classroom, which is very, very important. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my classroom because we're still setting up. And here you can always join the meet, the video meet call by clicking here, or you click join here, whichever one, and it's going to work. So literally, this is the whole process. Now, another thing I want to talk about here is the fact that I can always do this to just minimize everything here. Come to my settings. So I'm going to click on my settings here, and notifications are very important because again, you want the notifications, you want to be notified either on your mobile phone or your tablet or your laptop anytime a student is making a comment, or for them to get notifications anytime you're posting. So this is very important. So again, I'll always advise to turn on the notifications for enable guidance summary, so they get notification every time, and they get to choose, okay, if they're going to receive it weekly or daily, okay, once they accept that invite. The next one is email. So you can allow email notifications on comment. The students will get notification on comment. Teachers will get notification on comment, comments on post, comments that mentions you. They can get they can get you can also get private notifications on comment on work, the classes you teach. You can get notifications on late submission of student work, resubmission of student work, invitations to co-teach classes, scheduled posts published or fail. Okay, you can actually get these notifications because they are essentially for you. Okay, class notification is for the class. Okay, the class you're currently teaching, what notifications do you want? Now, probably you're in every class. Okay, you're in every class and you probably don't be getting all notifications, especially the classes you don't teach, but you're there. You can always turn them on or turn them off. Okay, so that makes it easy for you. Okay, and you just probably have to focus on the classes, get notification on the classes you teach. So this is super important. Super important. Okay, so I'm going to click here back to my class, right? Now, the next I want to talk about is classwork. Now, when you go to classwork, this is very important because this is where you're going to assign your work. So if I click on create, it gives me the option of assignment, quiz assignment, questions, material, reuse post, and topic. And I'm going to explore all this. So I'm going to start with topics. I'm going to click on topic. And the first topic you want to see on your Google Classroom is the scheme of work. Okay, scheme of work. So right here, I'm going to click on add, and this is where I have my scheme of work. It's always a good practice to add all your topics. Okay, for the term, add all your topics, and then you can start sliding in materials. This is very, very important. And we're going to create a scheme of work right now, like literally create a scheme of work. Okay, we'll create a scheme of work to just make it really exciting, really. Okay, so, and this is so very, very important. So I'm just going to go to Word because I want students to actually see something when they come in, right? I'm going to open this and I'll just create a scheme of works. Nothing fancy, but I'll probably just do that. So scheme of work for year 6, and I'm just going to centralize it. Probably put a table or something, insert. This is a different video for it entirely, so I'll probably just do this, right? So I have week 1. Okay, probably just the weeks. Okay, the weeks, the topic. I'll just put 1 2 5, and computers. All right, computers. Introduction to computer. Introduction to computer. Right. And then maybe 8 to 10 will be computer practicals or something. Computer practicals. Right? Computer practicals. Practicals. Right. So I have this. This is literally a well taught work. Right. Just give me something practical, right? Practical. So I have this here. I'm just gonna probably just increase this a bit and also do the same here. Okay, so this is literally what I have. Awesome. Okay, and yeah, I'm gonna work with this. Probably just take this off, delete the rows as well. Okay, so I have this. Well taught. Well, good. Probably come here to layout and just probably just increase this. Okay, so this is good. And one more thing, I'll probably just do this, right? And this is it, right? Let me know if I can do a video on this, probably if you don't know what I'm doing. So I can come here to save my work, and I can browse, literally browse for where it should be, and I can save it. Okay, I'll probably just save it in desktop, literally save it in desktop, right? So this is scheme of work for year 6. I'll probably make it in PDF because it's always good to be read only PDF, and I'll just save it here. I'm just dumping it here. I'll probably just create a folder so it makes it easier for me. I'm just going to create year 6, and this is what you should do as a teacher. Always have a folder for your class. Always have a folder for your class. This is very, very important. So year 6 ICT classroom. I'll put a Google Classroom, right? So you can, these are where your materials should be. And I have it here. I'm going to save it here. Okay. So literally, I'm going to save it here. Okay. So I have this. So if I come here and I have all the topics, I want to upload an item. So I'll come here to create and I'm going to make it a material. So if we come into material, right, I have scheme of work. I have to give a title for it. Scheme of work. Okay. Now all students are going to see this. That simply means that even if you're adding new students to your classroom, they will see it. Right. Now, right here on topic, I'm going to choose scheme of work. So it falls under that. And I'm going to click on upload. When you click on upload, right here under upload, if it's your drive, you can go to your drive and it will open the drive for you. If it's in your star, maybe you studied somewhere, share with me, recent, it would show you all that. Okay, it's going to show you all that. So okay, come here to browse. Okay, and I'll go to desktop and look for year 6 ICT. Okay, Google Classroom. I'll open this, and if I click here, I'll click on open. Like I said, this is the full course on showing you how to set up your classroom. There are videos on just one here, bit by bit, but I want to show you the whole thing so you can always go back to it every time you have an issue. So here, I can decide to schedule, and I'll show what schedule means. Schedule means that you want to just schedule everything, go on a vacation, and let Google do everything for you, or you want to post it right away, or you want to save it as draft. Okay, except it's probably an information that you want to be the one to release in class. It's always a good advice, right? And take this advice to always schedule your work, so it's easier for this information to be posted even in your absence. So this is very, very touche. Touche for me is touche. Literally touche for me. So I'm going to click on post because I want it right now. I want it right now. Okay. So again, I'll probably show you post is immediate. Schedule, this is how it works, right? So schedule here. I'm probably going to choose the date. So right here, you can see that a lot of changes has been here in 2025. Open calendar. I'll put this right here. Click on OK. The time that I want is probably going to be 9:08. We're here together and we would meet that time schedule. Okay. So it's going to show right here and it's going to post at that time while we're doing other things. So now grades. This is where all the assignments you've given is going to be placed. So right here, I'm going to give an assignment. So I'm going to click on create. It's always important to give an assignment rather than a question. So always choose the assignment rather than a question. Now, if you're going to click on the quiz assignment, it's going to generate a Google form for you to actually do that. And this is the very good thing about doing a quiz assignment. If you give them a quiz right here, it's going to import the grades to your grade section for you, which is good. I love it. It's 2025. Hey, I love it. Right? So it's going to import the grades for you. So it makes it so easy. So easy. If it's a quiz that you want to give, the students are going to easily select and everything. And this is a different video, right? It's a different video on Google Forms, on quizzes, how to do that. So when they select, you can add the marks to it, the points to it, and at the end of the day, it's going to grade everything. So whatever you have here as a total, you can come here to say, okay, the total mark is going to be 10. Okay, the due date, okay, that you want to give is going to be this. Okay, this is the due date, and it needs to be placed in a topic. But we're not doing that, right? So I'm just going to cancel. Okay, so I want to create an assignment on computers, so I'll probably need to create a topic for it. Okay, it's always important to always create a topic for every material you want to post. So I'll create a topic for it, and I'll probably say introduction to computers. So this is very important. Introduction to computers. Okay, so I'm going to click here on add. So I'm going to have this here as a topic, introduction to computers, and I have this here. Literally, I have this here. Okay. So what do I do now is the next thing is, if you have a material, you need to add the materials here. Your slides, or you've designed your slides on PowerPoints, is in PDF. When you click on create, you will see you have to go to materials. Okay. So if you go to materials, you add a title for the material, that slide, add a description for it, and then right here you can upload it. If it's going to be a video, what you do is click on YouTube, and you can search for that video, and then you can send it right here. Or if you have it in your drive, by all means you go to drive. But if it's not in any of these categories, but you have a video somewhere that is not on YouTube, which is rare, and it's not on the drive, right? You can come here to link, right? And then you can paste the link to it and add the link of that video or that materials, and the student will have access to it. It's always important, and this is what I want to say this, and I will say with love, right, to my fellow teachers, to my fellow educators. Please always ensure the materials you give your students are within the confinement of your Google Classroom. Do not let them go out of the Google Classroom. This is so important, right? Make it a space where everything they need is right there on the Google Classroom. Because again, the internet, the World Wide Web is a global word. And that simply means that if you post in a link where they will have to go outside of the Google Classroom and to look for materials, they can get distracted. They can get distracted, and that simply means that they can start wandering off. So it's always important. Why not download the materials, and then you can upload it right here on the Google Classroom, and they can just go through it, look at it, and then they can do other things on the Google Classroom. So this is very, very important. Very important. So proceed with caution, right? Proceed with caution, literally. Okay. So proceed with caution when you're using links for your students. Very important. Okay. So right here, and then you can click on topic introduction to computers. I do not have any materials for this, right? So you probably see that. So I'll probably just what do I do? Okay, let me upload something. Literally upload something. So I can just upload the scheme of work here as the material. Forgive me, I'm going to upload scheme of work here as the material. Okay, and you get the idea, literally. All right, so this will be introduction. Okay, so this can be introduction to computer. And if this is a slide, you can probably put lesson slide, so they know that this is a lesson slide. And right here again, we've talked about the fact that we can always post it almost immediately. So I'm just going to post it. Okay, so we have that. Now if you check here, you see that you are going to get the information that Agile ND posted a new material, scheme of work, introduction, and lessons like this. This is the notifications you're going to get. If I come into my settings and I scroll down to show attachment and details. If I save this, what will happen? This is what they're going to see. They're going to see all the information here, which is actually good, because again, they don't have to go to the classwork and then they just have to click on it directly here. But I always prefer my student to always go to my classwork. So this is just my opinion. Right? To my fellow educator, this is just my opinion. So whichever one suits you, please go ahead. Okay, so this is literally what it is here. So we have a hang of it. Now if you have other posts on other classrooms that you want to reuse, you can come here to reuse posts. Now maybe there are other classes here, that you probably want to use. You can actually go to each of them and you can actually bring it in right to it. Now it's going to show you all the classes you've joined in, and you probably see all the, okay, I want to bring in this to my current classroom. It's right there in that classroom. Now this is very important, especially if you're in different rooms. What do I mean? You're teaching ICT room A, the other teacher is teaching ICT room B, the other teacher is teaching ICT room C, and he or she has put in information like, okay, you can also use it on your own. You also in your classroom, you can actually reuse posts, and that would save you a whole ton of stress and just typing it all together. It is really an awesome feature. I do that a lot, especially when I'm teaching 2 classes. I just want to do this, bring this for my private class. Okay, private classes, I can, okay, I'm teaching this particular class, or I'm teaching this particular school. I can just bring it. I do freelance a lot. I can just bring it here, there, to that school, and okay, you do this, you do this, you do you, and everybody is so easy and organized for me, so I can actually close this. Okay, I can actually close this. So now the next thing I want to talk about. So here you can see I've not added any assignment yet. I'll probably need to do that. So I'll come here to create assignment. So this is where you can add the material for the assignment. Let's say this is 10 marks, right? And this is going to be due when? Today, right? All of a sudden, a teacher is making the assignment due today. Not cool, but we'll make do. And it's going to make it by 10. Oh my God, 10. This teacher must not be nice. Literally must not be nice. Okay, so 10. Okay, are we going to make it by 10? So let's put it by 11. Let's put it by 11. Okay, so we don't miss any assignments. So because I'm going to be a student as well. And then this is very important. Close submission after due date. So it simply means that students will not be allowed to submit their work after the due date. Okay, and you can always place this in the topic. Very important. Place this in the topic. You can always check for plagiarism, right, to ensure that they're not using ChatGPT, you're not using any form of AI to actually do your work. You can actually check for it. Okay, so this is very important, right? Okay, so here is assignment one. Probably give assignment one. Okay, so this is introduction to computer. I'm still going to use the scheme of work. Okay, so forgive me, right? I know you would do better than what I'm doing right now. So browse, and I'm using the scheme of work for everything. Literally, the scheme of work for everything. So here you have students can view files, and students can edit files. So they can make a copy for each of them. So what some teachers always do, some tutors do, is that they just make a copy for each of them. It's kind of a waste of feature, but it's good. They have a copy with them already, but they can view. So that means that if they can view, they need to just all they have to do is to download. So I'll just make it a view. They can view the files from there. They can download. I will show you all this in the student end. Okay. All right. So here we have this, and I can just post this immediately. So I'm just going to assign this immediately. That's a sign, right? You can schedule, you can save as draft. I'm going to assign this assignment immediately, and it will be here, right? So take note of the, now also take note of, because of the theme that we used in your classwork, they are going to change as well. Okay, so the colors will also change as well. So please take note of that. So yes, we've done all those things. It's time to add the student to the classroom to begin doing their work. Okay, so let me know which features was helpful to you, and do what to like this video. So I'm going to click on people, and right here, this is where I'm going to add the student. Now they can do that in both ways. Okay, it can be in both ways. What do I mean in both ways? In both ways, where you can add them here by inviting them via the emails. Inviting them via the emails. You can just type the emails of them, and you can invite them in. Or, okay, or you can come here to right here, you can just copy an invitation link for them, right? If they copy this invitation link, all they have to do is they can just go on their web browsers, send the link to them, go on their web browsers, and they can join in. But what I advise is that you add them using their emails. Okay, so this is very important. Add them using their emails, and don't just give the link, because again, they can share it out to any of their classmates. So you probably don't want that going around. So just add them with your email. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to add them. So I'm going to use this. Okay. So I have this. Okay. So I'm going to click here on invite. I'm going to click here on invite. So here we have it, right? This particular student have been invited, and how do we do it on the student end? So this is where we're going to end the video for the teacher's guide, and we're going to resume on the student guide for it. Bye for now.